Have you ever tried to hold water in your hands, only to watch it slip away no matter how tightly you squeeze? Isn't it fascinating? The harder we try to control something, the more elusive it becomes. This same paradox applies to love, especially in a world that constantly pushes us to chase, fix, and fight for relationships. But here's a powerful truth. Love that's not ready can't be rushed or forced. Human psychology reveals a secret about genuine connection. It thrives in freedom, not pressure. Imagine love like a butterfly. It doesn't land on your hand because you're desperate for it. It lands when you open up and trust the process. Are you trying to force something that should unfold naturally? Think about a river. If you swim against the current, no matter how strong or determined you are, you'll exhaust yourself without moving forward. But when you flow with the current, the river carries you to places you could never reach on your own. Love is like this. It's natural, unpredictable, and when it's ready, it will flow towards you. If it's not, no amount of effort will change its course. Rumi said it best. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. When it comes to love, the secret isn't to chase after it, but to trust in the timing and embrace the flow. Think of a gardener tending to a seed. He doesn't force the soil to yield. He plants, waters, and patiently waits for the right time. Similarly, when it comes to love, the focus isn't on chasing it. It's about nurturing yourself and building a life that attracts the love you deserve. Love that isn't ready is like unripe fruit. It might look good, but it will only be bitter if you try to pick it too soon. But when it ripens on its own, it's sweet, fulfilling, and worth the wait. Relationships born from readiness, not pressure, have a natural rhythm that can't be forced. If you're constantly fighting for someone's attention, proving your worth, or overanalyzing every little detail, it's time to rethink your approach. The truth is, love isn't something you have to earn. It's something that flows freely when the time is right. The Stoics understood this perfectly. Some things are within our control, some are not. Love is one of those things you cannot control. You can't make someone ready to love you any more than you can make the seasons change. But you can control how you show up. Are you the moth, chasing after someone who may not be ready for you? Or are you the flame, shining, steady, and confidently attracting what's meant for you? When you stop chasing, you become the flame, radiating confidence and self-worth, drawing others to you, not because you begged for their love, but because they can't help but notice your light. Sometimes love needs space to grow. Absence creates longing, reflection, and realization. It's in these moments of absence that the connection you're meant to have becomes clear. Lao Tzu wisely said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Letting go isn't giving up. It's making space for what's meant for you. The beauty of love lies in its unpredictability. It's not a contest to win or a problem to solve. It's a natural connection that blooms when the timing is right. By trusting the flow of life and love, you align yourself with the relationships that are truly worth your energy. These connections come not from chasing, but from two people who are ready to meet each other in the perfect moment. So stop trying to clutch at water. Stop swimming against the current. Trust the flow. Build a life so fulfilling that love becomes the next beautiful step, not the end goal you're desperately trying to reach. When love is ready, it will find you. Until then, nurture yourself, shine brightly, and let the current take you where you're meant to go. As Rainer Maria Rilke said, "Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Trust the flow and watch as love finds its way to you, not because you fought for it, but because it was always meant for you." Affirmations hold incredible power in shaping your reality. By aligning your thoughts with your desires, you can create the love you truly deserve. Here's your affirmation. I trust the flow of life and let love find me when it's ready. Write it in the comments and claim your power to step into the flow of love and life. If this resonated with you, hit like and subscribe. Your support helps us create content that inspires, uplifts, and transforms lives. Thank you for being part of this journey. Number 1. Love is like a seed. It grows at its own pace. Have you ever tried to rush the growth of a plant, desperately trying to make it bloom faster? Maybe you watered it more than necessary or positioned it under the brightest light, hoping to speed things up. Yet, despite all your effort, the plant only bloomed in its own time, no sooner, no later. Love is just like that. It's a living, breathing force that grows at its own pace, guided by the readiness of both hearts involved. In today's fast-paced world, we often forget that the most meaningful things take time to grow. Rushing the process only leads to disappointment, because true love isn't something that can be forced. It's something that needs space, patience, and trust. As Rainer Maria Rilke wisely said, no great love ever came without patience, trust, and time. Just like a seed planted in the earth, love needs time to root, to grow, and to bloom. Trying to speed up the process is like pulling a flower out of the ground before it's ready. It simply doesn't work. The beauty of love lies in its natural rhythm. Imagine a gardener tending to their plants. They don't dig up the seed every day to check its progress. Instead, they trust the process, nurturing the soil, giving it water, sunlight, and letting time do the rest. The same goes for love. Trying to rush it only risks stunting its growth or causing it to wither. Just like a flower's petals open when the conditions are right, love unfolds when the timing is aligned for both people. Think of love as two magnets. When one is ready and the other is not, no matter how hard you try, they won't connect. They'll simply repel each other. But when both magnets are aligned and ready, the connection is effortless. In love, this alignment comes when both hearts are ready to embrace what's to come. Patience isn't about waiting around for love to happen. It's about waiting for the moment when everything aligns perfectly and the connection is undeniable. Trusting the flow of love means understanding that it can't be forced. It's about allowing the natural rhythm of things to unfold. Lao Tzu once said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Love moves at its own pace, and when you stop rushing it, you allow yourself to enjoy its beauty in full. Instead of trying to control when or how love arrives, focus on preparing yourself, on growing, learning, and becoming the best version of yourself. When you're ready, love will come effortlessly, just like a flower blooming in the spring. Imagine the fruit on a tree. If you try to pick it too soon, it's sour and unripe. But when you wait for it to ripen naturally, it's sweet and satisfying. Love is the same way. If you try to force a relationship before it's ready, you may experience frustration and heartache. But if you wait for love to grow naturally, it will be far more fulfilling and lasting. Waiting for love doesn't mean being idle or waiting for someone else to validate your worth. It means investing in yourself, developing your passions, building your confidence, and creating a life full of joy. When you become the gardener of your own life, you create the perfect environment for love to thrive. And when the time is right, the love you attract will be genuine and fulfilling, just like a seed growing into a beautiful flower. Don't rush the sunset. You can't make it happen faster by staring at the sky. But when it arrives, it's breathtakingly beautiful. The same is true for love. It arrives when it's meant to, and the best thing you can do is trust its timing. Fighting for love before it's ready only drains your energy and creates unnecessary heartache. But when you trust the flow, love comes naturally, effortlessly, and at the perfect time. So here's your affirmation. I trust the timing of love, and allow it to grow at its own pace. Write it in the comments to claim your trust in the process and anchor your belief in the natural unfolding of love. If this message inspired you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more content that transforms lives. Let's trust the flow and let love find us when the time is right. Number 2. Emotional readiness is key to real connection. Have you ever tried to connect to Wi-Fi but struggled because the signal was weak or the network wasn't properly aligned? No matter how many times you re-entered the password or adjusted your device, the connection just wouldn't come through clearly. This is exactly how emotional readiness works in relationships. Without it, even the strongest attraction can feel distant and frustrating, full of confusion and unmet expectations. Love isn't just about finding someone you click with, it's about meeting them when both hearts are in the right place, fully ready to give and receive. Emotional readiness is the quiet but essential foundation of a true connection. Without it, relationships can turn into an exhausting cycle of chasing validation, avoiding vulnerability, or trying to fix what's broken before it's healed. But when both people are emotionally aligned, love flows naturally and effortlessly, free from the tension that comes when one person is unprepared. As Rainer Maria Rilke said, "For one human being to love another, that is perhaps the most difficult of all our tasks, the ultimate, the last test and proof, the work for which all other work is but preparation." Emotional readiness is the essential groundwork, the self-awareness, healing, and growth that make love truly sustainable. Imagine you're building a bridge between two people. If one side of the bridge is incomplete or shaky, no matter how solid the other side is, the connection can't hold. Emotional readiness is about ensuring both individuals are strong, stable, and ready to meet in the middle. Without that alignment, love becomes a risky gamble rather than the solid partnership it's meant to be. Think about past relationships where you may have given your all while the other person wasn't quite emotionally available. Or maybe you weren't fully ready to give your best self, weighed down by past experiences or fears. It's not that the love wasn't real, it's that the timing and emotional readiness weren't right. Real relationships thrive not just on attraction, but on the mutual ability to support each other's growth, flaws, and dreams. And that's only possible when both people are emotionally prepared. Picture a gardener tending to a plant. The plant only grows if the soil is fertile and the environment is right. Just like that, love can't flourish if one person's emotional garden is barren or neglected. Emotional readiness requires us to nurture ourselves first, healing from past wounds, developing our self-worth, and building resilience. This way, when love comes, there's a healthy space for it to take root. Trying to fix someone who isn't emotionally ready or believing that your love can heal their wounds often leads to exhaustion and heartache. Love isn't a rescue mission, it's a partnership. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When we step into relationships, both people must take responsibility for their own emotional well-being instead of expecting the other person to do it for them. Think of love as a dance. Both partners need to be in sync for the rhythm to flow smoothly. If one person is unsure of their steps or holding on to past baggage, the dance becomes awkward and strained. But when both are ready, the dance becomes effortless, flowing with trust, mutual respect, and emotional alignment. Fighting for love when it's not ready is like forcing a closed flower to bloom. The result isn't growth, it's harm. But when we trust the natural flow of love, recognizing that both people need to be ready, we allow a connection to unfold at the right pace. This doesn't mean waiting endlessly or tolerating unhealthy dynamics. It means understanding when it's time to step back and trust that love cannot be rushed. Emotional readiness isn't something that happens to us, it's something we cultivate. Every step you take to heal your past, set boundaries, and nurture your self-worth brings you closer to the love you deserve. And when you meet someone who's done the same, the connection is powerful, real, and undeniable. So here's your affirmation. I trust the timing of love and align myself with readiness. Write this in the comments to claim your power and let this truth guide your journey toward healthier relationships. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support inspires us to keep creating content that helps you transform your life. Together, let's trust the flow and prepare for love when it arrives at the perfect moment. Number 3. Holding on too tight can push love away. Have you ever tried to hold on to a butterfly only to watch it flutter away as your fingers tighten in desperation? The harder you try to grip, the more elusive it becomes. This is the same with love. When we clutch too tightly to a person, a relationship, or a dream, we unintentionally create tension that drives love further from us. Love, at its core, needs room to breathe. It thrives in an environment where trust and freedom coexist, not in one where fear and control dominate. The beauty of love lies in its effortless nature. Think of a flower gently swaying in the breeze. It doesn't struggle to grow. It simply reaches toward the sun. If you try to force it to bloom faster or suffocate it with too much attention, it wilts. Love works the same way. When we hold on too tightly, we stifle its potential. But when we allow it space, it blossoms naturally, drawing closer to us without resistance. Imagine love as a river. The more you try to dam it, the more it fights to break free. But when you let it flow, it moves gracefully, winding its way toward you. This isn't about giving up on love. It's about trusting that love will come to you when it's meant to, in its own time. Trying to control every move, word, or choice only turns what could be a harmonious connection into a struggle. The more you grasp, the more love slips away. Why do we hold on so tightly? Often it's because of a fear of loss or rejection, a fear that if we don't fight to keep someone, we'll be left alone. But this kind of desperation doesn't create intimacy, it creates pressure. Love thrives when there's mutual trust, not when one person is desperately trying to keep the other from drifting away. When we release our need to control, we create space for love to grow organically, free of fear. Think of a dance. When you're holding someone too tightly, the steps become stiff, the rhythm gets off, and the dance loses its beauty. But when you loosen your grip, allowing each partner to move with freedom, the dance flows effortlessly, full of grace and connection. Love, too, needs that freedom to flourish. By releasing the grip and allowing love to evolve naturally, you invite deeper trust and intimacy. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means shifting your focus. Instead of obsessing over someone's actions, shift that energy inward. Focus on building your own confidence, cultivating your happiness, and creating a life that excites you. When you do this, love finds you naturally, drawn to the power of your own peace and presence. There's nothing more magnetic than someone who understands that love can't be forced. Love is like the waves of the ocean. Sometimes it crashes, sometimes it ebbs away, but it always returns when the time is right. Trying to rush the waves or hold them back only leads to frustration. When you accept that love follows its own natural rhythm, you align yourself with its flow. Let go, trust the process, and you'll invite the kind of love that is meant for you. If you're holding on too tightly to love that isn't ready or isn't reciprocated, ask yourself, what if you let go? What space would you create for something more fulfilling to enter your life? Sometimes the greatest act of love is to release what isn't flowing naturally, trusting that if it's meant to be, it will return in its own time. From this moment, promise yourself, no more chasing, no more forcing. Trust the flow of love and let it come to you in its own time. As Rumi beautifully said, "Don't grieve anything you lose. It comes round in another form." Here's your affirmation. I release my grip on love and trust it will find me when the time is right. Write this in the comments to claim your peace and power. If this message resonated with you, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create content that transforms lives. Together, let's trust the flow and embrace the love that is truly meant for us. Number 4. Absence creates appreciation. Have you ever experienced the sweet thrill of anticipation, waiting for something you know will only last for a short time? Maybe it was a rare concert, a vacation, or even just a fleeting moment with someone special. The absence of these things creates an intensity that makes their return all the more precious. This same principle applies to love. When we step back and allow space, we create the perfect conditions for appreciation to flourish. In relationships, absence is often the catalyst that turns familiarity into genuine gratitude for what you truly bring. It's easy to think that the more available we are, the stronger the connection, but love doesn't thrive on constant proximity. It thrives on quality, on presence that is savored because it's not always there. Think of a rare gem. Its value skyrockets not because it's endlessly in view, but because it's rare and cherished when it appears. Absence, in this way, works its magic. It allows both individuals to reflect on what's truly important, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. Imagine a stunning painting hanging in a room. When you're in front of it all the time, it becomes background noise, something you no longer notice. But when you step away and then return after some time, you see it anew. Its details are sharper, its beauty more intense. This is the power of absence in relationships. It refreshes the lens through which you view someone, allowing you to appreciate them in a whole new light. By creating space, you allow the other person to miss you and recognize your true worth. This doesn't mean playing games or manipulating emotions. It's not about disappearing as a tactic, but about valuing yourself enough to step back when needed. When you allow for some distance, you're showing that your time, attention, and energy are not to be taken for granted. This kind of absence isn't about being cold or distant. It's about respecting the ebb and flow of connection and giving room for love to grow more deeply. Just like the moon, which never forces itself upon the earth but shines brightly in its own time, you don't need to chase after love or seek constant validation. When you step back, you create space for the right kind of love to appreciate you for exactly who you are. Love, like the moon, becomes more alluring because it's not always in your face. It becomes something to be admired, not possessed. When you step back, you're also stepping forward in your own life. Absence doesn't just help others appreciate you, it gives you time to reconnect with yourself, to nourish your passions, to build the life you deserve. Trusting the flow of love means trusting that if someone is meant for you, they will recognize your value, and when the time is right, they will return with a deeper appreciation for your presence. Are you giving others the chance to miss you, or are you always available, hoping they'll notice your worth? True love doesn't need to be chased. It is attracted to those who know their value, even in the moments of absence. When you allow space, you allow love to return to you, not out of obligation, but out of true desire. Here's an affirmation to hold on to. My absence creates space for appreciation. Write this in the comments to claim your power and remind yourself of your worth. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support fuels us to continue creating life-changing lessons, empowering you to embrace love and live authentically. Together, let's trust the space that absence creates and open the door to deeper connections. Number 5. Love is attracted to confidence, not desperation. Have you ever noticed how the most beautiful flowers don't need to chase after the bees? They simply bloom, and the bees are irresistibly drawn to their fragrance. The same is true for love. When you radiate confidence, you don't have to chase after it. Love will naturally be drawn to you. On the flip side, desperation has the opposite effect, pushing love away like a magnet repelling its opposite pole. It's a law of attraction. Love gravitates toward those who are grounded in self-assurance, not those who desperately seek to fill a void. True confidence isn't about putting on a facade or acting bigger than you are. It's about having an unwavering belief in your own worth. Imagine a mountain standing tall, unmoved by storms. It doesn't beg the clouds to pass by, nor does it need to prove its strength. It simply exists in its full glory. When you stand firm in your authenticity, you become magnetic. People are drawn to you not because you're seeking them out, but because they can feel your solid, radiant energy. Confidence is what makes you stand out without saying a word. As the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Confidence comes from within. It's rooted in the love and respect you give yourself. When you invest in your own happiness, growth, and fulfillment, that energy sends out waves that others can't help but be drawn to. You become like a beacon, lighting up the darkness without chasing after anyone's attention. Desperation, on the other hand, sends a different signal. It says, "I am incomplete without you." This creates pressure that suffocates love instead of nurturing it. Think of trying to catch a butterfly by holding your hands too tightly. The more you grasp, the more it struggles to escape. But when you hold space with an open hand, the butterfly is more likely to settle in. Love, like the butterfly, needs room to breathe and grow. Confidence doesn't clutch or control. It simply allows love to flow freely. When you trust the flow of your own journey, you open the door for love to enter without force. Think of confidence as a melody, smooth, harmonious, and captivating. Desperation, in contrast, is like a loud, off-key note that makes the song unbearable. The more you trust your own rhythm, the more you invite the right people into your life. You stop trying to orchestrate someone else's feelings and let love come to you naturally, like the perfect harmony of a well-played symphony. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. The right love will find you when you stop chasing it and simply allow it to flow into your life. When you embody this truth, that you are enough just as you are, love will come to you effortlessly, at the right time, in the right way. So, I ask you, are you ready to stop chasing after love and start standing tall in your confidence? The choice is yours. Let go of the need to prove yourself and trust that love will find you when the time is right. Just like the flower, let your natural beauty attract the love that's meant for you. Here's an affirmation to claim your power. I radiate confidence and trust that love flows to me effortlessly. Write this in the comments to own your worth and step into your light. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are dedicated to bringing you empowering content, and your support fuels our mission to keep creating life-changing lessons. Let's embrace the confidence that makes love inevitable. Number 6. The right love won't require endless chasing. Have you ever tried to catch a shooting star? The more you chase it, the farther it seems to drift away, right? But if you sit quietly and let the night sky unfold on its own, the The stars will reveal their magic without you having to do a thing. Love is no different. The right love won't require endless chasing or scrambling for attention. It won't make you feel like you're constantly running a race with no finish line. True love arrives naturally, without the pressure or struggle. It comes to you when it's meant to, effortlessly. As the wise Lao Tzu said, when you let go, things get done. The world is won by those who let it go. Forcing love into your life through constant pursuit only creates resistance. But when you trust the process, love flows toward you, drawn by your calm confidence and authenticity. The love that's meant for you doesn't require you to prove your worth over and over. It recognizes you as you are, no chasing necessary. Think of love like a dance. You don't have to chase your partner around the floor to make it work. You simply find your rhythm, stay grounded, and allow the dance to unfold naturally. If you have to chase someone, if you have to fight for their attention, affection, or commitment, then you're not dancing in harmony. You're just pushing against the current. True love doesn't feel like a battle. It feels like a flowing connection that evolves effortlessly, both of you moving in sync. The right love is one that values you for who you are and meets you halfway. It's not about playing games or proving you're worthy. It's about mutual respect, trust, and effort. When you stop chasing, you create the space for the other person to approach you on their own terms. This balance allows love to unfold at its own pace, free from pressure and full of genuine connection. If they're not aligned with you, if they don't show up the way you need, it's a clear sign that they're either not ready or not meant to walk this path with you. Trust that stepping back from that pursuit isn't a loss. It's a moment of clarity. By releasing the need to chase, you open up the space for the right love to find you effortlessly. Affirmation: the right love flows to me with ease and grace, without the need for chasing. Write this in the comments to claim your truth and embrace the flow of love that's meant for you. If this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support is what keeps us inspired to continue creating powerful lessons that transform lives and relationships. Let's trust in the flow of love and let it come to us when it's ready. Number 7. Forced love often leads to fragile connections. Have you ever tried to push a flower to bloom faster? No matter how much you force it, the petals won't open until the right time. That's the truth about forced love. It's a fragile bloom pushed out of season, vulnerable to withering. When we rush, manipulate, or try to force a connection, it might appear strong at first, but beneath the surface it lacks the solid foundation of mutual readiness. Without time, trust, and natural growth, any relationship built under pressure is bound to crack under the weight of reality. As Lao Tzu wisely said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Love is like nature. It grows at its own pace. When we rush it, we risk creating an illusion of stability, only to find that it lacks the substance needed to last. True love is not a race. It's a journey. If one person is constantly pulling the weight of the relationship, or if it's built out of desperation instead of shared desire, it won't stand the test of time. Imagine trying to force a bird to fly before it's ready. If you push it from the nest too soon, it will fall. But if you give it the space to grow and strengthen its wings, it will soar. That's what love needs: space, patience, and mutual readiness. Forced love only stunts growth and creates weak, fragile bonds. You might think you're helping by rushing things, but in reality, you're stripping the connection of its potential to flourish. Instead of trying to control love's timing, trust in its natural flow. When it's meant to be, it will unfold beautifully on its own. Love isn't about forcing effort into every moment. It's about allowing space for real connection to form. When you find yourself constantly fighting for attention, affection, or commitment, It's time to ask, am I building a deep connection, or am I trying to hold together something that isn't ready to exist? True love doesn't need constant repairs. It thrives on understanding, mutual respect, and patience. The right love will never feel like a struggle. It will feel like rivers naturally finding their way to the ocean, like the sun setting effortlessly into the horizon. Let go of the pressure and trust the timing. Love that is meant to last is built on freedom, not force. Affirmation: I trust that true love will come to me when the time is right and when both hearts are ready. Write this in the comments to affirm your belief in the power of patience and timing. If this message resonates with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're here to inspire, empower, and guide you on your journey to authentic love and meaningful connections. Together, let's create relationships that flourish naturally without the need for force. Number 8. Surrendering control invites joy and freedom. Have you ever tried to control the wind, only to watch it slip through your fingers no matter how hard you tried? Life and love are just like the wind, wild, unpredictable, and far more beautiful when you stop trying to dominate them. The harder you try to control the flow, the more you fight against the very essence of what makes life so free and vibrant. True freedom and joy come when you release the grip. Let go of the need for control and allow things to unfold as they're meant to. Surrendering control isn't about admitting defeat. It's about embracing the power of trust. As the wise Lao Tzu said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Surrender opens you to new possibilities, allowing love and life to flow naturally into your world, rather than forcing them to fit your expectations. It's a choice to stop struggling against the current, and instead flow with it, choosing peace over pressure, trust over anxiety. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a forest, surrounded by trees in every stage of growth. You wouldn't demand that a seedling grow into a towering oak overnight, would you? You'd appreciate its journey, trusting it will reach its full potential in time. Love works the same way. When you stop forcing and start appreciating, you give it space to grow naturally, exactly as it was meant to. Think of a dancer performing in the breeze. If she fights against the wind, she stumbles and falls. But when she surrenders to the rhythm of the air, she flows gracefully through it, soaring higher than she ever could on her own. Surrendering control in love is like dancing with the wind, trusting it will carry you towards something far more magnificent than you could force into being. When you surrender, you not only invite love, but also unlock the true joy and freedom that come with it. You stop worrying about what's out of your hands and make room for the magic of the present moment. Instead of feeling burdened by expectations, you transform waiting into an opportunity to embrace life's gifts. You trust that what's meant for you will find you without struggle, and in that you discover peace. Affirmation: I surrender control and trust the natural flow of love and life. Write this in the comments to claim your freedom and step into the joy of letting go. If this message spoke to you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're dedicated to creating transformative content to help you live your most authentic, joyful life. Your support fuels this journey, and we're so grateful to share it with you.